The story begins inside a prison, where a dangerous inmate named Slim is being released. As soon as he walks out, the entire prison erupts in celebration. Every prisoner is relieved, because Slim was one of the most feared criminals inside. There wasn't a single person he hadn't beaten. He even ran his own gang within the prison. Outside, a group of men arrives to pick him up, making it clear that his influence is just as strong in the outside world. They take him to a luxurious apartment where everything has been arranged for his comfort: food, drinks, and even women, knowing he's been deprived for a long time. Slim is thrilled. But suddenly, there's a noise at the door. Before anyone can react, a hitman storms in and starts killing everyone one by one. Panic spreads, bodies fall everywhere, and some are even hung outside as a warning. Within moments, almost everyone is dead. Then we finally see the attacker, William Bain, one of the deadliest hitmen in the organization. His target, Slim. When Slim comes face to face with William, he completely breaks down. He begs for his life, crying and pleading, but William shows no mercy. He shoots him straight in the head, killing him instantly. After completing the job, William heads to his boss Tony's place, where a small celebration is going on. Tony praises William in front of everyone, calling him the most reliable and dangerous hitman in the group. But not everyone is happy. Tony's son, Johnny, watches silently, clearly jealous. He believes all the praise William receives should belong to him. After collecting his payment, William leaves and goes to a bar where his girlfriend Avril works as a dancer. Even though her shift isn't over, no one dares to stop them as they leave together. The next morning, we see William's daily routine. He wakes up, works out, and then casually plays video games. Suddenly, Tony arrives with his men. Tony announces what seems like good news. A member named DJ wants to leave the organization and start a new life with his wife. Tony pretends to support him and asks everyone to applaud. But in a shocking moment, Tony smashes a bottle over DJ's head and shoots him multiple times. He then yells at everyone, making it clear no one joins his organization by choice, and no one leaves it by choice either. Once you're in, only he decides when you go, or if you ever do. He orders William to dispose of DJ's body completely using chemicals, leaving no trace behind. William follows the order. Later, William goes to a pub to relax. But suddenly, a man appears and opens fire on him. William is critically injured and rushed to the hospital, barely alive. Doctors work tirelessly to save him. They all know, if William dies, Tony will come for them, and none of them will survive. After hours of surgery, William's life is saved, but he falls into a coma. Days later, he finally regains consciousness. Weak and confused, he asks the nurse how he survived despite being shot in the heart. The nurse reveals the truth. At the same time William was brought in, another man was rushed to the hospital after an accident. His wife knew he wouldn't survive, so she made a decision. She donated her husband's heart. That heart now beats inside William. Hearing this, William starts thinking he needs to meet that woman. After recovering, he returns to his team. Tony throws a grand party to celebrate his survival. Music plays, drinks flow, and everyone celebrates. At the end of the party, Tony shows him the severed head of the man who shot him, claiming revenge has already been taken. But William remains calm, almost emotionless. Tony notices this change. He approaches William and tells him to go home and rest. Work can wait. Meanwhile, we are introduced to the woman who donated her husband's heart, Dylan. She has just given birth to a baby. When she goes to pay the hospital bill, she's surprised to learn someone has already paid it for her. Dylan doesn't understand who paid her hospital bills, but the truth is, it was William. He feels deeply grateful to her, because if he's alive today, it's only because of her sacrifice. On the other side, William is no longer the same man. Something inside him has changed. He starts questioning himself, his past, and the life he has been living. For the first time, he wonders, what is the real purpose of his life? After thinking for a long time, he goes to Tony and asks him directly, "Can I leave this life?" Tony looks at him coldly and reminds him of what happened to DJ. "You're my best man," he says. "You were made for this. Don't overthink it. Just get back to work." William says nothing, but the conflict inside him grows. Eventually, he picks up his guns again. A new contract arrives. He goes out, finds the target, and kills him without hesitation. When he returns, Tony is pleased. He praises William once again, calling him the cleanest and most reliable killer in the organization. But standing nearby, Johnny burns with jealousy, once again overshadowed. After receiving his payment, William leaves and uses the money to buy an old house far away from the city. He wants distance from everything, from everyone. When he returns, Avril is waiting for him at the door. She's furious. She tells him he was shot, had surgery, and never even informed her. She's been trying to contact him for days, but he ignored her. "You've changed," she says. "What's happening to you?" But William gives no explanation. Instead, he hands her money and tells her to leave. In that moment, Avril realizes William is cutting her out of his life completely. Meanwhile, William secretly starts following Dylan. He wants to talk to her, but he doesn't have the courage. One day, he follows her into a supermarket, watching from a distance. But Dylan is sharp. She notices him immediately and confronts him. "Who are you?" she asks. William has no choice but to tell the truth. "The heart inside my chest belongs to your husband." Dylan understands everything. William struggles to communicate, so he turns to leave. But Dylan stops him and gently asks, "Would you like to go for a walk?" She senses the kind of man he is, quiet, lost, and broken. As they walk, she asks about his life. William lies, saying he works at an antique shop, but admits he doesn't like it. He says he plans to leave everything behind and start a new life. "To me, this is a second life," he says, "and I want to live it differently." Before leaving, he tells her, "I hope we meet again." Dylan stops him once more and softly says, "Take care of my husband's heart." William walks away, but something inside him feels lighter. The next day, he meets Tony again and receives another contract. Even though he doesn't want to kill anymore, he goes. All the way, he keeps thinking about his past, the countless sins he has committed. But in the end, he kills again. When he returns, Tony isn't there, Johnny is. Johnny carefully observes William. He can sense something is different. He even tries to joke with him, but William remains silent and controlled. He takes the money and leaves. Meanwhile, Johnny is busy with his own business. He's been keeping an eye on a man named Momo. One day, Johnny follows him to his apartment and discovers something shocking. Momo is with Johnny's own girlfriend. Furious, Johnny loses control. He immediately shoots his girlfriend and storms out. Later, he reports everything to Tony. Tony calls William. He tells him that Momo has become dangerous and disloyal. "He's no longer one of us. You know what to do." William accepts the job. He tracks Momo down to a museum, where Momo is with his girlfriend. William watches quietly and then executes him. The job is done perfectly, and everyone is satisfied. But William feels empty. Later, he meets Dylan again. This time, they spend hours talking. For the first time in a long while, William feels peaceful. At the end, Dylan asks, "Would you like to have dinner tonight?" William agrees. For the first time in his life, he feels genuinely happy. But he doesn't know someone is watching. From a distance, Avril is observing everything. She already suspected that another woman had entered William's life, and now she has proof. She secretly records them together. Before she can act, William approaches her. He returns all her belongings and says, "This is where it ends. There's nothing between us anymore." Avril breaks down and lashes out. "Don't do this to me. You have no idea what I can do to you." But William doesn't care. "Do whatever you want," he says, and walks away. Enraged, Avril goes straight to Johnny and shows him the video of William and Dylan together. Johnny immediately recognizes Dylan. He smirks and says, "So, this is the woman whose husband's heart is inside William." Then he adds, "Looks like she just wants to stay close to her husband's heart." After hearing all this, Avril tells Johnny, "You don't understand, something is wrong with William. Ever since he came back, he's completely changed. He's not the same person anymore." She then shows him an address. "I followed him," she says. "He keeps going to this place." That night, Johnny secretly goes there. The place looks abandoned. It's the same property William had recently bought. As Johnny moves deeper inside, he suddenly hears voices. Carefully, he sneaks closer and peeks inside. And what he sees shocks him. All the people who were supposed to be dead are alive. These are the same targets William was assigned to kill. Which means, since his return, William hasn't killed anyone. He has been sparing them all and secretly hiding them here. To the world, they're declared dead, but in reality, they're alive. Johnny quickly records a video and tries to escape, but Momo spots him and chases after him. Still, Johnny manages to get away. Momo immediately calls William. Meanwhile, Johnny rushes to Tony and shows him the video. William has been betraying us, he says. He hasn't killed anyone since he came back. They're all alive. Seeing this, Tony is shaken. Because if the clients who ordered those hits find out the truth, they will never let Tony live. Furious, Tony declares, "This man betrayed us. He tried to destroy my organization. He must die, no matter what." He orders all his men, kill everyone he saved, and bring me William's head. On the other side, William already understands what's coming. His first move, he goes to Dylan. He gives her money and urgently tells her, "Leave the city as soon as possible. Something big is about to happen. Once I fix everything, I'll find you." Dylan leaves. William then returns to his house and prepares for war. He gathers all his weapons. This will be his final fight. But before he can leave, Johnny's men surround the house from all sides. William is ready. As soon as they enter, he throws smoke grenades, creating chaos. Using the confusion, he puts on a mask and begins taking them out one by one. Within minutes, bodies are everywhere. After eliminating them, William heads straight to a hospital rooftop because he knows there's a helicopter there. He takes off, heading toward the place where he hid all those people. He knows Johnny will go there too. And he's right. By the time William arrives, Johnny and his army are already there. Everyone takes positions, and the battle begins. William comes armed with a rocket launcher. As Johnny's men drive in, he blows up their vehicles one by one. But the enemies keep coming. They're too many. Still, William fights relentlessly, shooting, stabbing, and taking them down one after another, until only Johnny remains. William shoots him and brings him to the ground. Johnny begs for his life. "Please let me go." William looks at him and says, "No." He pulls the trigger. Johnny is dead. Watching all of this from afar, Tony is devastated by his son's death. Then William calls him. "You're next," he says. "I'm coming for you." Tony responds coldly. "You'll have to, because Dylan and her baby are with me. If you don't come within 30 minutes, I'll kill them both." William realizes it's a trap. Meanwhile, the people William saved also learn the truth. Together, they decide to stand with him. They launch a full attack on Tony's mansion. This time, William is not alone. Momo takes on one of Tony's strongest fighters in a brutal hand-to-hand fight. He gets injured, but eventually manages to kill him. On the other side, William fights his way through and reaches the study room. There, he sees Dylan's baby. He moves forward to save the child. But suddenly, Avril attacks him from behind with a knife. William quickly disarms her. For a moment, Avril fears he might kill her. But William doesn't. Once, she was part of his life. "Leave," he tells her, "and never come back." Avril runs away. Just then, Tony appears from behind with an axe, ready to strike. But before he can, William shoots him. Tony is dead. At the same time, others rescue Dylan from a car where she was tied up. She rushes inside, desperate to find her child. And then she sees William holding her baby safely in his arms. In a single night, Tony's entire empire is destroyed. Everyone is finally free. 3 years later, we see a peaceful village. William, Dylan, and her child are now living a quiet, happy life. They've opened a small restaurant together. For the first time, William has found peace. For the first time, he is truly alive. And this is where the story ends. If you enjoyed this story, make sure to like, share, comment your thoughts, and subscribe to the channel for more amazing story recaps. Thanks.